start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Hello everyone, I'm the Angry Vigilante. This is my side channel where I post reaction videos to salty fanboys pulled straight from my live streams on my main channel, The Angry Vigilante Show. On the main channel, I also cover gaming news, rants, and full game reviews. I'll leave a link down below and you're more than welcome to come and subscribe and also hang out with me live every Monday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time. Guys, this is unacceptable. I'm really sorry about it, but I'm going to start from the beginning. This video was brought to us by Mario123, so let's get into it.
With the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 last year, we also saw the release of a new breed of content creators that solely make content just to hate on Nintendo and the Switch 2. Now,
my God, that would have been nice to get 1.8 million views, but my guy, this is nothing new. Maybe for content creators, but there were people that were supposedly hating on Nintendo long before last year. Come on. We heard it all the damn time. I saw videos of people complaining about Nintendo before. Maybe it wasn't as big or as many people, but there were still people that were supposedly hating on Nintendo. And many of us are not hating on Nintendo. We're just criticizing Nintendo. There is a difference because you guys refuse to grow a spine.
I hate some of Nintendo's business practices and their increased prices on games as much as...
Then why don't you do something? Why don't you sit here and help us? You're going to sit here and be like, well, I hate some of their practices, but then you still buy their games. And I guarantee you're going to buy that overpriced Tamagotchi Life game next month, aren't you?
The next guy. However, I wouldn't make a whole channel based on talking about something I don't even like in the first place.
How do you know if they don't like it? And here's another thing that you need to understand. Let's say you don't like Nintendo. You do understand that when it came to Xbox, we actually pushed back because we have spines. We had fighting us. When it came to PlayStation gamers, Xbox gamers, when it came to PC gamers, when they tried to push games to $80 after Nintendo did, we fought back and we got them to drop the price. But unfortunately with Nintendo, you guys chose not to fight back. You guys bent the knee and caved in, and look at it, we still got $80 games on the Nintendo Switch 2. All because of you guys when it comes on down to it. You guys refuse to do the right thing, so we have to. And many of the people that do not like Nintendo don't want the rest of the industry to go that way. That's something you need to understand too.
Kinda sounds counterintuitive. And believe me, it is. Some of these people genuinely have the smoothest brains I've ever witnessed from any content creator on any platform.
There might be a few, I'll give you that one.
They are very interesting and they make very strange videos, and like I say, the whole thing just seems kind of odd. They claim they hate Nintendo so much, yet they still buy all of their stuff.
Who are you watching? You know, the big ones are like Omniarch and Nintendo, and they don't hate Nintendo. They actually like Nintendo, so come again.
And constantly, daily make content on it. But today, I just wanted to watch and react to some of these people and hear them out. You never know.
And how much do you want to bet he's not even going to react to anybody tangible? It's going to be a bunch of people we've never heard of.
Maybe they have valid excuses on why they hate Nintendo, despite the fact that they talk about that all day, every day. I've also noticed most of these people genuinely orbit around YouTube Shorts. I don't know why.
Who? I mean, the big names that people love talking about don't really do the shorts. Like, yeah, I do shorts for my long videos, but I don't make specific short form content like that.
Not YouTube long form or, you know, shorts on...
I do. For Tenga, Omniarch, Nintendo, many of us sit here and make long form content. What the hell are you talking about?
Other platforms like Instagram Reels, it's always, for whatever reason, YouTube and Shorts. And I can make a whole video on how dumb and brain dead an NPC YouTube Shorts is as a whole, but when it comes to
I mean, we could sit here and make a whole video of how brain dead you Nintendo fanboys are. Well, I'm pretty certain one of us already has.
Nintendo specifically on YouTube Shorts, yeah, you're gonna lose some brain cells. All right, let's take a look.
No, you're not. There's nothing wrong with short form content, okay? The reason why I don't, I'm gonna stop doing short form content because it takes up too much time and it's just not really worth it. I mean, I'm making less than $20 a month on short form content. So it's just really the time it takes for me to do it. Literally, if I would have turned those 2 videos that I made last night into short form content, I don't think I would be going live early. I don't think I would have went live until about 6 in the morning instead of 4:30, if I'm being honest.
Look at some of these videos together.
Here's why I will never buy the Switch 2, and trust me, you shouldn't either. The Joy-Con.
Why does that voice sound familiar? Who is that person's voice? Why does it sound like kind of like a tamer version of beat 'em ups?
Connect through these fragile pins.
So this comment is obviously false. These pins
I actually kind of agree. I've never heard anybody complain about those pins. This is the first time. I mean, I've taken my Joy-Con. Well, no, I don't take my Joy-Cons off, actually. I've only ever done it one time, but I've heard so many stories when it comes to the Switch 2, but I've never once actually heard of people scared to break those little pins. Are you kidding me?
At first, when the console wasn't even out, yes, even I debated on whether this would be safe or easily damaged. But anyone can tell you that,
don't be an idiot with them. Put them on correctly and you probably won't have that problem.
These things don't really get damaged that often because it's pretty hard to do so. Again, this is just a myth.
I mean, if you just don't have user error so damn much, you probably wouldn't have that happen. It's like I hear people complain that they scratch their screens. I've never scratched my damn screen.
And it's just completely false. These will be fine, and they are child friendly as well. Also,
Dustin, we have mini games on the Switch 2 that are $80. You have Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 Edition, Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 Edition, Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition, about to have Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, that's it so far. Probably going to have more of them. So yeah, currently we have 4 $80 Switch 2 editions, and we're about to have a 5th one. Or not Switch 2 edition, sorry. We have currently 4 $80 games on Nintendo, and we're about to get a 5th one with the Mario Wonder one.
You can criticize Nintendo in a lot of places, but I feel like the one area you're going to struggle to do so is in the build quality.
Who the hell puts a lighter literally to the screen? Don't do that, guys. If it don't matter if you got a Switch 2, it don't matter what. Do never put a lighter to the damn screen. Like, who is actually afraid of something like that happening?
Of their consoles, at least in my opinion, they're gonna last you a lifetime, no matter what you're playing on. If it says Nintendo.
I've watched this video and I think there was one person that he might have reacted to that was credible. But like Franco says, notice how they always react to nobodies, never people like Omniarch. Exactly. Oh, we got Horde Hellfire. How is it going there, Mrs. Hellfire?
On it, you don't really need to worry about it breaking. I actually own a Switch 2 and a Steam Deck OLED, and guess which one of those keeps breaking / having some buttons or directional input errors, and so I have to open up the whole device.
Who puts the controllers on and off like that? Of course, if you do it like that, you're gonna be an idiot and you're gonna damage them. But who does that? There's this damn button on the back that you press and it pops them off. I have a damn Satisfy grip thing on mine, so I don't even take off the damn Joy-Cons.
Blow into it because dust easily gets inside of it, despite me
Well, why the hell are you leaving your damn Steam Deck around where it can collect dust like that? I've never had a problem with the Switch 1, with the Switch 2, with any of my consoles about dust just getting all up in there to where it doesn't want to work anymore. Now, I did have problems when I was younger when it came to the cartridges. For like the Super Nintendo, N64, I'm pretty certain we all had those problems.
Cleaning it weekly. Yeah, it's the Steam Deck. I love both of those consoles, but I will say Switch wins when it comes to durability.
The price of the games literally doubled.
Now this is the one talking point.
Okay, I want to say they doubled, but they definitely went up in price, which is ridiculous.
That Nintendo haters love, and it's actually one I completely agree with. Yes, Nintendo games prices are way too high.
And even if you want to buy them secondhand, your console will most likely get bricked.
So this person is claiming that if you use a...
Okay, that I know of. There's only been one case of that happening. I reported on it. I don't know of anybody else actually happening. So making it seem like that it's gonna happen is kind of being disingenuous. Is there a chance? Sure. But so far they have sold through 15 million units worldwide, and we've only ever heard one case of somebody actually getting their console bricked due to buying them pre-owned. So you're probably not going to happen. You have a very extreme likely of a chance that it will, but it's very, very low. Still, it should never happen. But, you know, I'm not into the whole fear mongering thing. I didn't like when the Nintendo people were doing it, saying, oh, you better buy a console now before it goes up. And I don't really like this fear mongering either.
Switch 2 game that's pre-owned, it will most likely brick your console. Again, complete fabrication here.
I mean, it's not a fabrication. It did actually happen, but that I know of one. So one out of over 15 million units sold worldwide. That's not that. I mean, it's bad, but trying to act like it's gonna happen more often, it's just not the likely of a chance.
Will not happen. If anything, Nintendo really want you to game share and lend games to other friends and family.
And for the price of one Switch 2 game, you can get yourself a Switch It card that comes with every single Switch game.
And of course, it's revealed at the end of the shot that this person is only hating on the Switch 2 so they can sell their crappy, dodgy device for the Switch 1, which probably will break anyway, at least a
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. If you have someone complaining about a system getting bricked and then they're trying to sell you a device where they know they're going to get bricked, that is not a good one. So my God, why are you reacting to people like this? Why don't you react to the other ones? All those people that you show with those thumbnails where they got over 1 million views, hundreds of thousands of views. Why aren't you reacting to them? Why are you reacting to these guys that probably are not getting that many views?
a lot easier than the Switch 2 will. This is a whole new type of breed of people that are coming up with basically the same product over and over again, and instead of, you know, buying typical ads, they're selling it through YouTube short skits. The title of this next video is My Switch 2 is Already Breaking, which is intriguing. How is your Switch 2?
I mean, I want to know too. I've had mine since July of last year and it's perfectly fine. I mean, I had my Switch 1 for years and it didn't break on me. I mean, the Joy-Cons did, but the system itself didn't.
Already breaking, so let's take a look.
My Switch 2 is already showing its age, and I've only had it for like 7 months. So first of all, I don't know if it's that easy to tell, but around the buttons, they're getting a little bit more glossy than the matte finish we're kind of used to.
That's just normal wear and tear. The more you use it, the more they're going to get worn down. My PS5 controller's like that. Those things don't last forever. You put a lot of wear and tear on those buttons, my guy.
Yeah, I'm completely lost here. The buttons look completely fine, even when he's zooming.
Nah, I mean, you can see a little glossy on them, but nah, that's just normal wear and tear, though. They're not going to be pristine and last forever here. Come on.
In. The console is a bit dirty, but again, that's the user's fault. This is literally making a mountain out of a molehill. There is.
I agree. Then why are you reacting to someone like this? Well, you know, you're complaining about the supposedly Nintendo hate grifter people. Why don't you actually react to the big ones? Why are you reacting to the ones that you're so badly trying to make us look like idiots? These are the guys that you're reacting to. Really?
There's no problem here with the console.
I'm also feeling just a little bit more Joy-Con jiggle. I mean, it does.
Well, don't hold it like that, you fucking idiot. Okay? Like I said, you know, user error does happen. You don't sit here and hold it like that. Who the hell's going to hold it like you're going to literally, my guy, just put the damn thing down before you actually damage it. So no wonder it's breaking because you're an idiot.
Doesn't help that I'm holding it like this.
Yep, it doesn't. Nor should you ever hold it like that. Of course, that's going to happen.
The kickstand, it has definitely taken the biggest beating out of all of them because it's actually.
I mean, who actually uses that damn kickstand? I've used it one damn time. You know, I know some people are going to want to use it, but really, my guy, come on.
Metal kickstand, you can see a lot of these scratches quite a bit easier. It's just
my guy, it's not going to last forever. What do you expect? You expect it to stay pristine forever here? Come on, my guy.
a bunch of chips taken out of it, but it still works.
Well, no wonder you just threw it down like that. I can imagine you probably just threw it down on something hard too.
And this is just purely the user's fault. I have the Switch 2 many.
I agree, my God, but you're literally picking these stream examples of these idiots that make the rest of us look bad. Okay, if you're gonna make a video where you're trying to come at us, you better come at the correct ones. Don't be coming at these nobody people like this. Come on. I'm not trying to make it seem like people that don't get as many views are nobodies here, but come on, they literally are just complaining to complain at this point.
If my friends do, none of them look like this. This is just someone who simply cannot take care of their own device.
Yes, there are videos of Harmon Smith, you know there are.
Okay, on to the next one.
The Switch 2 sucks, and I'm gonna tell you why. The screen is an LCD display and not OLED.
Now this point is really
I mean, I actually think that the screen should have been an OLED. I don't personally have a problem with the LCD screen, but I do think it should have been an OLED.
funny because his own comments are pointing out to him that this screen comparison literally favors the Switch 2, and I would agree. I think the extra frames and the higher resolution and the increased brightness on the screen makes up for the fact that it's not OLED. In my opinion, the Switch
Nah, I don't think it makes up for the fact. I will heavily believe that this should have been an OLED.
Switch 2 screen is very big, very bright, looks a lot better than the Switch or even the Switch OLED screen.
No, it does not. He literally just showed a picture comparing, and no, the Switch OLED does look better.
It costs $150 more than the Switch 1.
Now this is a talking point I can't wrap my head around, as if these people genuinely think Nintendo's newest console should be cheaper than their 8-year-old one.
Well, if they would have dropped the price on their 8-year-old console like someone normally would, like it's always been throughout gaming history, then it probably wouldn't have been so high. But you do understand that literally for $20 more than the Switch one we got to pay, Japan gets it for $320, around $320.
I don't know how to explain this to these people.
Every accessory is more expensive than what they were for the Switch 1. And buying those all together comes out to about
Of course, Nintendo's accessories are always expensive. That is nothing new. That's why you buy them used.
another $650.
So half
Yeah, you don't need to buy another $650. Come on. Literally, you don't need to buy extra Joy-Cons. You don't need to buy an extra dock. You don't need, like, if you buy the system, it comes with all that except the carrying case. That is the only thing you're going to have to buy. And maybe a Pro controller if you want to. But saying you're going to have to spend an extra $650, come on. I still have yet to get a new SSD card. I'm literally rocking with the base storage on the Switch 2. I have no need to go buy because I don't need a bunch of games downloaded at once.
of what's shown here either comes with the console or is completely unnecessary. These people love to pretend you have to buy all of this stuff to play your favorite games.
Flagship game prices are raised to $80 from the usual $60.
Okay, I will actually agree with this on this one. The $80 is bullshit.
Again here, I completely agree, completely valid.
The Switch 2 is the next Wii U.
Nope, the Nintendo Switch.
No, it's not the next Wii U. It's already outsold the Wii U. So we already know it's not going to be the next Wii U.
Switch 2 has outsold the Wii U's lifespan already in less than a year. On to the next video.
Nintendo Switch 2 with this garbage can. If you don't get it right, you better get it tight, because like I said, don't make us Wii U.
Genuinely,
Jesus Christ. It is not another Wii U, my guy. Just like Hyperstar Cage said, just tainting the community with toxic positivity to combat this. Exactly. This is ridiculous.
what did I just witness? I have no words. It's not on every video, but I love how people's
No, it's not on every video. You're just picking the extreme example. Literally, you're saying that the Nintendo hate YouTubers need to be stopped, which I'm referred to as that Omniarch, Nintendine, many of on the Fortanga, many other ones. Why don't you pick the actual credible ones that have real criticism? Why are you picking idiots like that?
just always peak on these kind of videos. It's so frustrating.
We went to Walmart today and I was really surprised to see this Nintendo case stocked full of the new Nintendo Switch. Joke's on you, Nintendo.
Okay, this has to be satire. This literally has to be satire. There's no way someone literally looks at a Switch 1 and says, with all these Switch 2 saying, oh, it's not selling because it's chock pack full of them. There's no way this is real.
We're not paying $450.
Okay, so
my guy, it's a Switch 1. That's why I'm saying this has to be satire.
This person doesn't know what the number 2 is, but seriously, this is not the Switch.
I am pretty positive. Now, if it would have been a random person that didn't know, but he knew that the Switch 2 was supposed to be $450. So I am pretty positive he has watched YouTube content before, so he knows damn well what a Switch 1 is. Okay, that's why I'm saying this has to be satire. There's no way that's real.
I don't know how this person doesn't know that. And yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 is the best-selling console of all time if we're looking at it from days out versus sales.
You mean the fastest selling, not the best selling, fastest selling. There's a difference.
The fastest selling console ever.
There you
Nintendo
go,
Switch
get it
2,
correct.
kind of trash. And after about a week with it, these are some of the things that I hate in no particular order. So the battery life.
Okay, I'm gonna say this one too. If these guys were making hate videos or supposedly hate videos on Nintendo before they got the Switch 2, then you can't take them seriously. Like Dreamcast guy, you know, where he literally was like, oh, I'm hating on the Switch 2 and everything, even though he was talking trash about it before. You can't trust those guys. But literally, I have never heard of a single one of these people. Not a single one of these people he is showing, I have never heard of.
Life on this thing is not good at all. Depending on the title, I'm losing between 5 and 9% battery every 10 minutes.
So,
I mean, then I will say it's a little extreme. I can usually, if I play a game, I usually get about 2.5, 3 hours. So you're losing like 9%. That's just ridiculous, my guy.
Switch 2's battery isn't great, I will be the first to admit that, but this is simply a case of you can't have everything in one console. You can't have it perform really well, have it be lightweight, and have an amazing battery. But, you know, I will say,
I will prefer it to be a little heavier if we got a better battery. That I will say.
it's not the greatest experience in the world. However, the amount of battery this guy claims he's losing that fast, 10% every 10 minutes, 1% every minute, that's a little too much for me.
I actually agree. I think that's a little too much.
I've never experienced anything that bad.
It's just really not comfortable to hold, so you'll either want to have it tabletop or docked. I mean, just look at the hand placement of this thing versus a Steam Deck, for example.
This point I actually kind of agree on. It's uncomfortable, although the cases you can get or grips for the Switch 2 are so cheap nowadays that
I know, but that's just an extra buy that you have to buy. The system should already come to where it's more comfortable. It is very uncomfortable to hold the Switch 2. You definitely have to get a grip for it. There's no doubt about it.
don't really care about this complaint, although it is valid.
The screen is bigger and brighter, but it's still not bright enough to touch grass while playing, so you're going to want to stay indoors.
Yep, it's a screen. It's the sun.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of normal. So if they would have made that thing any brighter, your complaint about the battery life now would have been even worse.
Yep. Also, just going back to that brightness, I just noticed he has auto brightness on, which you need to turn off to get the maximum brightness on the Switch 2 in handheld mode. So this statement, this line right here, completely wrong.
It has the same joystick hardware as the OG Switch, which means stick drift, and somehow after just a few...
Okay, this guy, we have not found any credible person about stick drift. We were wondering if it might, because yeah, it was the original hardware. Did you literally go back to the original, like when the console first launched? Is that who you're literally reacting to? My guy, if you're gonna make a video now, you need to actually react to videos that are way more recent.
days, people were already experiencing this.
Okay, so this one really hurts. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. Completely false. Again, there's been no verified cases of this.
I agree, but if this video was made right after it launched, my guy, you're being disingenuous.
It's not the exact same technology as the original Joy-Cons on the Switch 1 were, therefore we're not seeing drifting, at least not yet. We did see some rumors on Reddit within the first few days of the launch of the Switch 2, but those were completely shut down when we realized that person just hadn't turned off motion controls in his Mario Kart World game.
Really? He didn't turn off the motion controls, so that's why. What an idiot.
Having to buy the upgraded version of old titles is annoying, and in all honesty,
I agree. It is very annoying. It's bullshit too.
the difference in graphics is minimal.
I would not say the difference between graphics is minimal here, nor performance. They are both definitely worth the price, at least in my opinion, but I do agree.
Well, nobody asked for your opinion. They are not worth that damn price.
These updates should be free in the first place, but then again, recently we've seen Nintendo make a lot of Switch 2 upgrades free.
My guy, you are literally using Donkey Kong Country Returns, which that upgrade free was the bare fucking minimum after they ripped us off charging $60 damn, okay?
For a lot of mainline games, so I guess they're moving in the right direction at least.
No, that you're literally using a very piss poor example. That is not the best example to use. You do not sit here, use a game where Nintendo ripped everybody off, charging $60 for a decade-old port, and they didn't even do nothing to it. So given a free update where they actually add some good content, that is literally the bare fucking minimum.
Okay, I kind of lied to you guys, because Nintendo haters aren't the only short-form content creators I wanted to show off today. There's actually another new...
You literally picked the most piss poor example of the people making this type of content, my guy.
New breed of people, and I don't really know how to properly describe them. They basically just make sort of skits about Nintendo with a twin version of themselves, and then they scream, constantly peek the microphone, and whatever video it is, it makes no sense, and every comment is from an NPC. I swear to God, let me just show you some of these.
In this video, you'll see 50...
Who the hell? I am pretty positive that these are meant to be satire. They're meant to be funny, ha-ha moments. Who the hell's gonna use a Switch 2 as a damn cutting board?
dangerous, funny, and unknown ways to use your Nintendo Switch 2, with my evil twin appearing throughout. Starting off, my friends, have you ever needed to cut some fruit, but you didn't have...
This guy's literally just doing stuff to get attention. He's trying to go viral. That's all it is. You're not going to take, who's going to take this guy seriously? Who is literally going to go out there and buy a Switch 2 to use as a damn cutting board?
Have anywhere to cut the fruit or a cutting board? The Switch 2 makes a great cutting board. Gotta get that
No, it does not. Do not spend $450 for a damn cutting board.
precise cut right there.
I literally want to, I want to say things that I cannot say right now.
And we can even go one more just for good measure.
What? Am I missing something here?
It's meant as a joke. See, this is the only guy I actually know, the one that he's about to play. Out of all of your videos, this is the only one I've seen beforehand.
Finally back from vacation, which means I can play my Switch 2 on my monitor. Oh, that's the wrong way.
I've literally never had that problem, except for the very first time that I opened it up. That was the only time I had the problem with docking it, and then I got used to it.
Still the wrong way. Finally! Wait, aren't there only 2 ways that the Switch 2 should be able to fit into the dock? I think I'm gonna dock my Switch 2 and play in TV mode now. Oh, that must be the wrong way.
Okay, I mean, yeah, sometimes I do have that problem where I don't get it set all the way on. It's meant as a joke. He's over embellishing everything. It's meant as satire, you damn idiot.
Oh, that still must be the wrong way. Oh, there you go, finally. Wait a minute, shouldn't there only be 2 ways the Switch 2 can go in the dock?
What is going on?
It's meant as a joke, my guy. Read the fucking room.
This isn't content. This hurts.
No, it's not. It's meant as a joke. It's satire. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And I'm pretty certain we've all done something like that. I've never turned it around, but I have sat here and gone to slip in. I'm like, damn it, go in. It don't take that damn long to get it to go in. Trust me, I don't got that problem finding a hole.
Hurts my head. I can feel my brain getting smoother by the second.
Oh, so do I. You picking these piss poor examples to use. You literally wanted to make a video coming at us and you picked the worst examples you could have. You know what you're doing. You're trying to make us all seem like we're like them. Come on, we're not.
Who is this for? Like, aside from kids, but then it can't be for kids because it's not on YouTube Kids, which I really think it should be, to be honest. Like, who above the age of 10 is this for? Just look at the comments again. Thank you for experimenting the things I want to do but can't. These people have to be 5 years old, I swear. Alright, that's enough.
I think you might be 5 years old for the people you picked. I am so glad we are done with this guy. Oh, who's gonna be up next? We're gonna get into the next one. The Virtual Boy headset doesn't have a head strap. Good luck with that, I know, right?
Nintendo Switch 2 game mid reviews problem, or 70s problem, or this isn't worth $70 because the game reviews on Metacritic isn't high.
It's not because of the game reviews on Metacritic. It's not worth $70 because it's not worth $70. You know damn well. But you try to sit here and take like this gray area approach or the middle approach, trying to be neutral when you know damn well it's not worth actually $70. But you don't care because you get it as tax write-offs and you need people to buy these games so you can become successful. You know, even though you don't make money off of the games, well, you might get an affiliate link, but the better the games do, the more views your videos are going to get when it comes down to it.
High enough problem. I've seen people talk about this with the release of Mario Tennis Fever, how it's not worth the money based off.
It's not worth the money. It's just simply not. It is an amazing game. I will give it that. It is a phenomenal game, but it's not worth the money.
Of the review scores are based off of the 4-hour adventure mode or based off of this.
It's actually, see, I don't know where everyone's getting a 4-hour adventure mode. I put about 5.5 hours into the adventure mode, so it's more like 5 hours. And actually, surprisingly, the adventure mode is fantastic. It's just too short. Once you get past the tutorial part, which is the first half, the second half is actually phenomenal. They should have fleshed out that second half to make it longer.
Based off of that, and honestly, that type of talk is just getting exhausting. Worth or value is subjective. Something can be.
Who cares if it's getting exhausting? If you don't like it, don't sit here and watch the damn content. Don't read the comments. The reason why is because you take pride in these games getting higher scores. That's the only reason why.
$3, and if I buy it, I feel that it's not worth it, then it's not worth it. Or it can be $10 or $20 or.
Okay, partially true, yes. Price is subjective, but there are generally considered general standards of what a $70 game is supposed to have. But you have completely lowered those standards to where they're non-existent.
$40 or $50. So it doesn't really matter when it comes to that. But what I do want to get into is this trend of what we're seeing with Nintendo review scores, at least Metacritic wise, and it's just constantly being high 70s every single time. It seems like it's going to be predetermined that'll be like a...
My guy, if you enjoy the game, who cares what the score is? What was the point of making this video in the first place?
77 or a 78 or maybe a 79 or something, and go over that. Now, there's been people also debating and analyzing this, saying that Nintendo's value, or more like Nintendo's game quality, is a problem, that it's went down.
It is. It has gone down. They raised the price but didn't raise the value. When you raise the price, you have to raise the amount of content in there. You can't just make like the quality level of Switch 1 games and expect them to do well for $70.
Hill, and there's all these issues. And while I can understand people have their opinions, we can discuss that.
I mean, that's pretty much a fact. You can try to act like it's an opinion. It's pretty much a fact. That's why they're rating the way they are.
Fully, when it comes to people's opinions or not based off of that, as somebody who's pretty much played every single game, first party wise at least, that Nintendo has released, I think that there's definitely more to it because of the type.
Of course you would. Because your channel is built on something like that. Your channel, you have to sit here and defend Nintendo that way. Okay, you don't like it because you want the games to either do well at the Game Awards or whatever. Literally, these Metacritic scores don't mean anything. Do you know how many times I played a game that did not review well and I absolutely loved it? And then I played a game that reviewed very well and I did not like it. There have been many games like that. Who cares?
Of games that they released, what they tried to do with those type of games. So we're going to discuss it at depth and at length, and we're going to talk about the future and what games could break this 70s trend and break into the...
It's called Nintendo needs to make better games. That's how it's going to break this 70s trend.
80s and potentially even the 90s, because believe it or not, it might be coming more sooner than later with the game.
Oh, are you talking about with the fake leak crap when it comes to the damn directs?
Game that probably all of us wrote off, at least not all of us, but maybe a lot of us wrote off, and that was Pokemon Pocopia. So we'll
the visuals alone don't even put this game into the 90s. The visuals are trash. There's no voice acting in the damn game. Are you kidding me? There's no way this game can be in the 90s. Maybe the 80s, if that, but 90s, there's just no way. If people are giving this 9s out of 10s as a fake review, they're literally not taking into account the visuals, and they're not taking into account there's no voice acting. $70 is supposed to have good visuals and good voice acting.
Discuss that and more, but before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they drop. But let me know if you think that there is a reviews or quality issue with Nintendo Switch 2.
It's the quality issue. I notice you want to put it onto the reviewers, but you don't want to blast them at the same time.
First party games. Now, let's just start out at the beginning. Obviously, we had Mario Kart World, which is reviewed pretty well, 86.
Yeah, too damn high. That 86 is way too damn high for that game.
You have Donkey Kong Bonanza, really good, AAA.
Still too damn high. With the performance issues, did not have enough quality content for the $70. No, that's too high.
Type, review score and all that, 91. That was awesome. People loved it. People were saying the Switch 2 is worth it. Look at this game. They're going to have so many more games coming out. And the consistent releases were starting to really pick up steam. You got some good third-party stuff that happened in September with Trails in the Sky and with Hades 2.
Those are not Nintendo games, so it doesn't matter what those review scores were.
In addition to Silk Song, those all reviewed really well. So you had a bunch.
What did those third-party games have to do with Nintendo, my guy? It doesn't matter if they were on the Nintendo platform.
Of nice games, first party and third party, throughout September. But then we get to October. And in October, there was some issues when it comes to it. And even a little bit before that, obviously Welcome Tour, that should have just been packaged in.
Yeah, it should have. And 54 might have been too high for that damn game too. But yes, that game should have been packed in. That's why it was rated the way it was.
The 54, Dragon Drive, that also should have just been maybe like an NSO game or something.
Yeah, that definitely should have been one. But yeah, the controls were trash on it.
But whatever, that's a 60 on that one. But we start getting to the big major games. And we get the Pokemon Legends ZA, 78, not bad. I think that the game is...
That is still too damn high. 78 is too high, but... That's still a 78, but let me guess, you're like, oh, it should have been higher.
Fun, but it's right around there, and people say, okay, well, the graphics, this and that, so...
Graphics, no voice acting, there were multiple things wrong with that damn game.
It is what it is on that one. And then we get something like Kirby Air Riders. And this one's interesting and why I don't fully buy into the Nintendo game quality problem. Kirby,
the road trip mode, the single player mode was trash. Okay. This game had a lot of like quantity thrown into it, but not as much quality.
Air Riders is a 79, and some people are saying that's maybe not good enough. It was an 80 at one point, then it went a little bit down, but the GameCube release is a 61 on Metacritic.
Oh well, guess what? The GameCube was how long ago? If that same game would have released, it probably would go lower than a 61.
So you have a huge 18-point jump over the previous game in the franchise. That's why.
Well, I would hope from a game going from the GameCube to the damn Switch 2, they would make it way better. That's just a given. That's a bare minimum.
Said it's a little bit complicated when you're talking about if there's a quality issue or not. I think that with certain games, like Kirby Air Riders, for example, there is absolutely zero quality issue. This game is significantly better than what we got before in the same.
Of course, and that's why I got a way better score. I thought, I think I gave it like a 7. In the 70s is a fair score.
Franchise, and it's complete. It's fully packed in with content, single player mode. You've got
awesome. The single player mode is trash. Very big. That road trip tour mode was trash.
Multiplayer modes. You got local, you got online, you got achievements, you've got no microtransactions, you got no pricey DLC expansions, you've got beautiful graphics. It runs good.
I agree. It ran well. The game was beautiful. Visuals were amazing. But the problem is that when you looked at the modes and you compared to other games, there were just far better options to pick.
Everything's fine with this game. It's actually really good. If you get into it, it's a lot of fun, especially with friends. And the online is flawless. It's got great rollback netcode. So this game is really good. Now, is it good enough to get some type of score like Donkey Kong Bonanza? Probably not with the game.
It's not probably. It's definitely not better. The single player was just too trash. Is it fun? Sure. It is fun. But if you sit here and hold this game up and hold Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossroads, Mario Party Jamboree, I guarantee you more people are going to pick those games over Kirby Air Riders.
Gaming press, because the gaming press is the gaming press. But I don't think that it signifies that Sakurai has making a video game quality issue.
Oh, I do. This game was not up to high quality. This game was not a $70 quality game. The single player mode is trash.
There's no way. So that's why I don't fully subscribe to it. Now,
and I will blast Sakurai for that one. I enjoy Sakurai. I enjoy Super Smash Bros. But my guy, you made a trash single player mode.
I get it with some of the stuff, but I don't subscribe to it when we have stuff like Kirby Air Riders, which is a phenomenal game. I just don't.
It's an okay game. It's in the 70s. That's considered great. It is a great game, yes. But it's not phenomenal. No, it's not an 80 or 90.
Don't have the time to play the multiplayer as much as I would like, but every time that I play it with the community or every time that I got a chance to play it single player, it was frantic.
Probably not that many times. Wouldn't surprise me if your community wanted to play other games besides this one. It was probably picked out of pity.
And it was a blast. Definitely more than a 79. I think it's an 80 plus game in my opinion. Haven't really had it.
No one asked for your opinion. No one really cares. It is priced perfectly fine in the 70s. Does not deserve to be in the 80s.
Chance to play everything, so I can't get a full review, but from everything that
Did you play the single player mode? How can you sit here and say it's in the 80s when that single player mode was trash? The only mode that I thought was phenomenal was this mode, the top down ride mode. That was a phenomenal mode. I love that mode.
I've played, the number of hours that I put in, this is a super high quality game in my opinion and put well together. You might not like everything about it, but it's definitely a well put together game and much better than,
except for the single player mode. Outside of that, yes, it is a well put together game, just not the single mode.
The original game on the GameCube with all of the added content. This is what you'd want a sequel to do. This is what you'd want them to add in after all of these years.
You want them to add a proper story mode. That story mode again is trash. I'm wondering if you actually played it. There's no way you could have gone into that, played that story mode and said, oh yeah, this is amazing.
And everything, because they boosted this game up to the max. I can understand with a game like Metroid Prime 4, right? Metroid Prime 4, this game, the reviews back in the day, they were a lot better than this. This is one of the lower rated games. This is actually lower rated.
Well, it made a lot of people mad. Now, I think a 78 is a little too low. I thought it should have been like an 85. That's what I gave it. I gave it like an 8.5. I actually enjoyed Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I actually did. But it's the first one I've ever played. I've never played in the other Metroid Prime games.
At the 78, the Metroid Other M, and this game's better than Metroid Other M. I think it's a lot better. I gave my own review for the game, and you can go see.
Yes, but you're comparing a game from how long ago? Metroid Other M was back on the Wii. If that game would have dropped today, it wouldn't have gotten that 79. It would have gotten a way lower score. Standards change over time.
What I scored it and everything, but I think this game's a lot better than that game. So reviews, standards, and things have definitely changed. Because
yes, of course standards have changed. When you look back on Ocarina of Time, if someone was to make an almost identical game to Ocarina of Time, same visuals, same everything, release it today, there is no way it would have scored a 99. It would have been impossible to score a 99 because the visuals alone, if they would have released it at $70, if they would have released that game at full price, no fucking way would it have been. So of course standards change because over time, generally the industry gets better. They make either a better game of that genre and they progress the series forward. That's usually how it goes.
Once again, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is much better than Metroid Other M, yet Metroid
probably is. But how long ago was Metroid Other M made? You're making a false comparison.
Other M sits at a better review score than it. Now, once again, that was like a decade and a half ago when they reviewed it, so times have changed, things have changed, different people. It's a completely different scene now at this point, and expectations of what you were expecting with a Metroid Prime might have been let down, so maybe that caused more of it, or just some of the gameplay design, obviously the green crystal stuff and all that. So
yeah, the green crystal was bullshit. That was way too damn much. Like I said, the game I thought deserved like an 8, 8.5. That's what I gave it.
I get that. That definitely seemed like there were some issues. The game was in development for a long time. So whether there's an excuse for it or not, it is what exactly happened. It's still a 78. So I get.
Then why are you complaining about it? Why are you making this video complaining about these mid-scoring games in the 70s?
That. But of course, with Kirby Air Riders, do not get that at all. Then probably like the biggest.
Oh, I do. It is very well known why that game got that one.
This thing for me with this is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This game makes no sense. And once again, why don't
I actually agree with them. This game should have been rated higher, but I knew that a niche, genre spinoff game was not going to do as good.
Don't believe or buy in fully to this game quality issue. This game is significantly higher quality than the game that came before it. You have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and
I agree. We can all agree with that one. And I think this game should have been the 80s as well. It was my favorite Nintendo game of last year.
2020. I love this game, but the frame rate was so bad. Like, I can understand the scores that it got. When it was getting 7s and sometimes 8s and 6s and other scores, I was like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. This frame rate is bad. It is definitely an issue, but the game can be very fun when the frame rate isn't so choppy and bad because it runs at 30 FPS with dips. And if you're playing in multiplayer, it's almost unplayable because it might get into the single digit teens frame rate or low teens.
Oh man, that frame rate is terrible.
Frame rate. And there's times if it's raining or there's a lot of enemies, it can get real choppy into the low 20s, potentially mid 20s. It's not great. When you have those huge levels with things happening, it also chugs and slows down, and that affects the enjoyment. But the game with
I agree. I can completely agree why that one got the review scores that it did. Like I said, Age of Imprisonment should have gotten a little better.
With its story, with its different characters, with its cool gameplay mechanics, still was able to shine through and get a 78 on the Metacritic. Then you fast forward to 5 years later to Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which dramatically improves upon the major issue.
Except for the visuals. I think the visuals of Age of Calamity are far better.
With the game, which is the frame rate. That is the reason why the game got much lower scores than maybe what it should have had, was the frame rate. This game has an incredible story, just as good, if not better, than Age of Calamity. And it's actually canon. It's not like a separate side story that's...
Okay, whether it's canon or not means absolutely nothing. That's a nothing burger there.
Kind of canon, based on a thing that happened.
And no, it did actually have some like performance issues. So saying that it was all fixed, that's not even true. If you played that in dock mode, there were times where the visuals got blurry. That's why I knocked it down, was because of that too. So no, like there are reasons why it got below that. I still think it should have been the 80s, but saying that it was fixed completely, that's just not true. If you played it in dock mode, you will know what I'm talking about.
but maybe not the exact really thing that happened. It's actually a canon story, and it's got a bunch of fun characters to use as well. It's a great game, and it improves upon everything that the original Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity does, and it does it even bigger and better.
But there's a thing that you're trying to compare this one to Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity was $60, not $70. That is one thing you keep glossing over, is the price. I understand that you guys in the Nintendo community have like this motto to live by, that when it comes to the price, you want to set it aside, and when you look, you see a lot of good things happening. We all understand that's your guys' motto.
All in a target 60 FPS, hitting that 60 FPS a lot of the time, or most of the time. It feels smooth to play. It's got a ton of content. It's got a lot of stuff wrapped in there. It is a really good game, and it's got a bunch of new mechanics and different things that you can do, fusion combos and stuff that make.
Very true. Like I said, phenomenal game. But when are you going to bring up the price here? That is like probably the biggest problem. $70 was just too much.
The gameplay far more varied to me if you're into the Warriors games, and I play them on hard, so you have to actually use all the different tools.
No one cares if you play it on hard. Literally was no point bringing that up.
And everything. If you play the game on normal or easy, it just feels like you're just mashing buttons the whole time. But if you're playing the game on hard, you actually have to do so many other things and dodge and be skillful and do all sorts of stuff. So
awesome. That does not equate to the score. Nobody cares.
It's so much better for me, at least. So I saw all the differences between Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. And the biggest thing, which is the most important thing, which every single reviewer mentioned was a big issue with the game, the frame rate.
Very true. But when are you going to bring up the price point? Do you understand that a $60 to $70 is a massive difference?
Hyrule Warriors fixes all that, and it's got 1 point better. 1 point better. That's insane. That is
not really. I mean, yes, it should have gotten into the 80s, but again, this is a $70 game. You're comparing it to a score of a $60 game.
Absolutely ridiculous, and that's why, once again, I don't really be all end all with reviews anyway. You guys know that.
Then what is the point of making this video? If you don't care about the reviews and the Metacritic scores, why are you making this video?
Play the games for myself, where I watch different people play them and I see what I see and I judge it from that. I don't judge it all based on reviews, because whatever. But that's what I'm really kind of talking about. When you do everything significantly better and then people say, oh,
they didn't though. They overpriced it. Again, you're forgetting the price point.
Oh, there's a quality issue. No, there is not. Look at that.
Yes, when you compare it to the price point, there is a quality issue.
Hey guys, 78, 79, despite having significantly better resolution, performance, gameplay aspects, and so many different things with the game, it only got them 1 point better. That should have been off the top, 3 to 4 points better than Hyrule Warriors.
Yes, if it would have been at a 60, maybe.
Here's Age of Calamity, simply based off of the frame rate alone. That should have already got it like 3 or 4 points better, because that was a major issue in the previous game. And Age of Calamity is awesome, but it's not to the point to where it's just as good despite the frame rate. No, Age of Imprisonment is a lot better because it plays way better. And
it does play better, but guess what? It's a $70 game, not a $60 game again.
And smoother to where you
can you please bring up the price just once?
Pull off your combos and pull off what you can do and everything. So I don't fully subscribe to it. I understand what people...
Of course you don't, because you always want to remove the price. That's the problem.
People are saying. I get the logistics of what they're saying with, hey, there's some 70s and there's some issues here and there. There's been some games that haven't been so good, but I think that some of the games are much better when you play them yourself than what some of the Metacritic scores will say. It was really interesting to see, because from IGN to Switch Up to Skill Up to Eurogamer to Game Informer, they all had incredibly high praise for this game in their hands.
Yeah, and I sat here and did a video on this one, and I honestly didn't think I had to. But you can look at the visuals are trash. You can tell there is no voice acting in the damn game, and it's a $70 game. They never even mention anything like that. So why should we be taking any of them seriously?
On gameplay previews, could Pokemon Pokopia change the 70s curse that the Nintendo Switch 2 with first-party games, first-party published titles is having right now? I think it's possible. Then switch up. Here's our take on a massive play session with Pokemon Copia on the Nintendo Switch 2. Not the game we were expecting, but a pleasant surprise. And they also stated that the game reminds them of Viva Pinata, which was a cult hit from...
I never played Viva Pinata, but it's sad that that game actually looks better than what the Pokopia game looks like.
The Xbox 360, and I think there was even a Nintendo.
How does a 360 game look almost on par to what a damn Switch 2 game is supposed to be?
DS game as well. So this could break the curse, and I hope that it does. It's coming out next month, early next.
And unfortunately, I gotta play it because apparently people aren't gonna get a fair and honest review if I don't. But I will be renting it. There's no way I'm paying money for this.
Next month, so I think that it has a chance to break the 80s curse. So we'll see what happens there with this game. I'm now more interested in it because I like Viva Pinata. I thought that game was pretty cool, and I watched the previews, and
we all know you're gonna glaze the fuck out of this. There's no way that this game can get into the 80s and the 90s just alone for the 3 reasons. 1, the visuals are trash. 2, there's no voice acting, and it's on a game key card, a first party title on a game key card.
Definitely a little bit more, I would say, positive about this game. So we'll see when it comes out. Now, are there other games that can break the 70s curse that will release this year on the Nintendo Switch 2 from Nintendo published first party title, or at least published?
I do not think this new Yoshi game is going to do that. If it is anything like Crafted World or at the level of Woolly World, there's no way it's going to break that. I do not have high hopes for this game. I am going to play because I love Yoshi, but if we just go by how they've been treating Yoshi, I do not have high hopes. Wonder Red, what is a key card? A game key card is when all they have is a plastic shell. It triggers a download, so you have to download the game from the internet. You don't actually have the game on the cartridge.
Partner title. Yes, I think so. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, that has a chance. The Yoshi Crafted World,
I really do not think it has a chance. I'm sorry, I don't have hope in Nintendo right now for Yoshi.
And Woolly World, they're both at the dreaded 78, 79 curse.
And 79 for Yoshi's Crafted World is way too goddamn high
as well, but I think this one could be a bit better on the Nintendo Switch 2. You have the Dust Bloods from Software. They have highly rated games, but
it could. I'm not going to play this game. I have severe skill issues when it comes to these games.
Their online focused stuff like Elden Ring Night Rain didn't quite do as well. That's also in the high 70s rated thing, so I'm not sure if it's going to be able to get the type of scores that Bloodborne or Elden Ring got, or
man, that game does not look that good.
Sekiro, but I do think that it can be somewhere in between Elden Ring Night Rain and, like, let's just say Dark Souls 3 or something like that. So that can be an 80s plus type of game. You also look at Splatoon Raiders, all of the Splatoon games.
We don't even know if that game's coming out this year, so that's some hopium right there.
Outside of the expansion pack or like the DLC for Splatoon 3, all of those have a low 80s rating, so Splatoon Raiders as a spin-off.
But again, those games were all $60. They're not going to come in at 70.
Could definitely be that, but I think that the game that has the best chance to break past that and get near some of the other games like Mario Kart World or Donkey Kong Bonanza is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. You look at the...
I mean, I don't think it's going to get in the 90s. Has the Fire Emblem game ever gotten that high? I thought they were like 80 games.
Past big mainline Fire Emblem games, not including Fire Emblem Engage, because that's more of an anniversary game. But if you look at Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates, and Fire
Emblem Awakening did get a 92. Gotcha. Fire Emblem Three Houses got an 89. I mean, I know that Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Awakening are very beloved games. It could get in the 80s.
Emblem Three Houses, all of those games have high 80s to low 90s, with Fire Emblem Awakening having 90 plus, and Fire Emblem Three Houses right there at the cusp of a 90 with an 89 and a Player's Choice Award to go with it, and Best Strategy RPG or Strategy Game Awards and things. So that did really well. So I do think that Fire Emblem has been one of those high quality franchises that's reviewed well over.
It could be. I don't think it's going in the 90s. I think it's going to be in the 80s, but we'll have to see, because I am actually very looking forward to this game. I can't wait.
the years, and I think that could be the game that truly kind of breaks past from what we know. There's going to be other stuff. We got Gen 10 Pokemon. We probably got a new 3D Mario. We probably got...
I doubt the Gen 10 Pokemon's going to rate that well. When's the last time one has rated good?
One more game here or there that we don't know about from Nintendo. Maybe a couple more games that we don't know about. But I do think that out of the ones that we do, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave has the biggest opportunity. And I think that if you look at Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, it's got a significant bump in visual fidelity.
Oh, it looks amazing. I cannot wait for this game.
And in performance. Those are the two things that were an issue when it comes to Fire Emblem Three Houses, and that game still reviewed pretty highly. So if they have a story that's just as good, if not even better, and less annoying aspects, maybe the calendar system is rehauled or not even in there at all.
Okay, come on, get on with it already. You already made this video long enough as it is.
Plus they have all of the typical awesome...
Hey there, Stephanie Browse. I'm doing good. Reacting to good old player essence.
Fire Emblem leveling and strategic gameplay, along with great classes and level ups and everything like that. I think that Fire...
Okay, we get it. You are glazing Fire Emblem. I'm glazing it too. I'm excited. Pretty much this video was pointless to make. There was no need. He literally just made to complain. We are going to get into good old Switch Force-y, Princess Force.
The third week in February, and I see a lot of people hyping up and talking about a Nintendo Direct coming your way this week.
You were one of them. What do you mean you've been seeing a lot of people? You were one of the main people doing it.
Big General Direct with all of the fun that brings.
You were the one that was sitting here acting like we were going to get a General Direct for the Partner Showcase.
But before we get all excited unnecessarily, let's slow down, take a step.
Oh, now you want to slow down. Now that you've heard something that they're not going to get a Direct this week. And so now, because now you're preparing the damage control already. You know what's coming. You do not want to face that fire and brimstone coming your guys' way again.
Step back, look at the facts, look at what has been leaked, and look at what Nintendo is thinking, and really figure out.
Well, Franco, I only trust Nate the Hate for Direct leaks. Like when it comes down to it, I think people can report on like leaks and rumors of sorts. Well, not really rumors, but when it comes to leaks, I think you can. But the problem is you have to wait until there's something tangible to go off of. You can't just sit here and report on hearsay, because this is what happens. You hype people up and then they get mad when nothing follows through.
Is there going to be a Nintendo Direct this week? What's going on, guys and girls? It's Zach from Switch Force. We are here to examine the third week in February and figure out if there's a Direct. Okay,
most likely there's not, but there's no reason to be doing this video. You're literally doing this video to try to temper people's expectation that you helped cause to get them overhyped in the first place. Because I'm pretty positive that you honestly believe there is not going to be a General Direct this week. And I'm pretty positive you say it in the damn video itself.
The big thing that's been going on is that a number of leakers have said there's another presentation. A General...
Yes, who's been reporting on those so-called leakers there, Switch Force?
Direct is coming.
Mario 1, 2, 3. So you made it to the big leagues, my boy, Angry Vigilante, making it to Reddit. I know, Mario. Well, see, I knew I made it onto Reddit because I found one literally before you even sent me the link. I found one where people were complaining about me on Reddit from 2 months ago. But yeah, guys, I am making it big already. Little old me at 4,100 subscribers is officially on Reddit. I have a dedicated Reddit page now. Can you guys believe it?
Something beyond the Partner Showcase. And there's a lot of evidence that we've talked about before, like this Partner Showcase didn't really have the biggest of games. It didn't.
And why? And well, that's kind of Nintendo's fault, but the reason why people expected it to be a lot more, why did they expect that, Switch Force? Why? It's not like you guys weren't sitting here acting like that there was going to be Expedition 33 or there was going to be these massive AAA third-party games.
You know, Elden Ring, it didn't have the Duskbloods. It did have Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. It did have some things from Capcom, but it wasn't like...
We already knew that stuff from Capcom was coming. There was no need to have it.
The grandest show. It feels like...
Maybe Pragmata. I'll give it that one. Maybe they could have, because they did give a demo.
Like Nintendo's holding back, and it feels like there's more games.
They were holding back. That's just a fact.
There's way more fuel to the fire because Nash Weedle, a reasonably prominent leaker, said that his...
Mario 123, don't let, hey, I want to pretend like it's my own Reddit page, okay? I understand it's the Nintendo grifting Reddit page, but let me think it's my own page, okay? Let me feel special this once.
Sources were telling him third week of February or early to mid-March. And then one of his March sources switched to February, and that's one of his most trusted sources. So
yeah, probably the source is he made the fuck up.
He's putting a...
I actually don't know if he made it up. It just sounded cool to say. I think if there is going to be a direct, it's probably going to come in March or April. It does not make sense to have the direct this week. I mean, it's a possibility. Either way, I'll be happy if there is one, and I'll be happy if there's not one. I'm going to have content regardless, no matter what.
A lot of his chips on the table for the third week in February, which is this coming week. Now, if it was going to be in February, it's got to be the third week, because last week was Mario Tennis Fever. The first week before that was the Partner Showcase. And then next week, February 27th, should be the Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day, which is a big to-do because it's the third.
I'm actually looking forward to the Pokemon Presents. I'm actually looking a little forward to seeing what Gen 10 is going to be like.
30th anniversary celebration of Pokemon. Third week in February is the only gap Nintendo has for a February presentation, for a February General Direct. Now, Attack the Backlog has also said, in conjunction with Nash Weedle, that he's heard of another presentation, but he...
Okay, congratulations, but these are literally hearsay type things. These are not, you know, main leakers. They're not like Nate the Hate here. I'll give Nate the Hate one thing. A lot of the stuff he says does actually come, but Nate the Hate doesn't over embellish stuff like this.
He has not heard or commented anything about specific date, about specific month, about specific type of presentation. Nate the Hate has been asked, and they've said, we don't know about a presentation. That doesn't mean that one's not happening. I'm just laying out the sources here. Now, the thing that's...
I am pretty certain if Nate the Hate doesn't say anything this week, we're not going to get one. We haven't heard nothing yet. Most likely, we're not getting one.
Added even more gasoline to this fire is that there is a Nintendo event, a holiday, if you will, coming up this week. And that would be The Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary.
Oh yeah, you remember the last one, right? You guys got those awesome Game & Watches. Even though Breath of the Wild outsold Mario Odyssey, let's see how well they're going to treat Zelda. It pisses me off how they treat Zelda, to be honest.
Now, that's a big deal, in theory, because Nintendo does like to celebrate anniversaries, and they've done quite a bit for Mario's anniversaries the last 2 times around. In fact, I expect them to do even more for Mario's anniversary by announcing the new 3D Mario game that will be the holiday hot ticket item for Nintendo Switch 2 later this year. But alas, does The Legend of Zelda get the same treatment that Mario gets for its anniversary, and is there...
I do not. When have they ever given Zelda that kind of treatment? Are you kidding me? Zelda's a way better than Mario. I would rather have a 3D Zelda over a 3D Mario.
Is there any tie between that anniversary?
The only thing I like is I love 2D Marios. Those I do like.
Anniversary and a direct. Now, there very well could be, and there are smoking signs that point to a direct coming soon. I have said that I'm more team March. I think a Nintendo Direct...
I agree. I think it's either going to be in March or it's going to be in April.
Around Mario Day makes a lot of sense, especially if Mario is the tentpole title revealed in that show, and I believe it would be. Nash Weedle says it would be. Many others believe that Mario is close on the horizon. So that seems to make a...
I mean, how long has it been since we've gotten a 3D Mario game? You would think they would. It sold over 20 million copies.
A lot of sense to me to have a March Direct. But there would be so much excitement if that Direct was instead this week, and the Zelda anniversary is a great thing to tie into as well. In the past, though, Nintendo has really gone light on Mario Day and gone light on Zelda anniversaries. They definitely do not do as much for the Legend of Zelda anniversaries as...
When have they ever done much for the Zelda's anniversary? Well, for the Mario anniversary, it would have been better. Like, the Galaxy Bundle wasn't a bad idea. I'm actually going to have a review coming out for that in a couple of days. But that, it wouldn't have been bad, but the problem is they just priced it too damn high. I mean, when you look at Mario's anniversary, you're getting a lot. You got the movie coming out, you got the Galaxy Bundle, you got Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. So there is quite a bit of stuff coming out for the Mario anniversary. The problem is they just priced it too damn high.
They have for the Mario anniversaries, and they definitely don't do as much for Mario Day as they have done for the Mario anniversaries. So in theory,
honestly, I do not really, unless it's a direct, I don't think they're going to do anything massive for Mario Day. I just think we're going to get some I just think we're gonna get some like discounts on games. That's all I think. You know, they're gonna drop the games down to $40 because they can't drop them any lower. Yes, I got that from RGT85, but that is a straight fact. And I do think this Saturday they might do something for the Zelda anniversary, but most likely they're just gonna give some discounts on Zelda titles.
Both of these times could pass by without much fanfare. They could throw up a free iPhone wallpaper on Mario Day, and they could announce...
Really? A free wall... Are you kidding me? Just a free wallpaper? That's it? You do realize you can already get that, right? Just saying, there are ways to get that shit.
Icons for Switch 2 for The Legend of Zelda's big anniversary.
Oh my god, Leah, let's get some free icons. Jesus Christ, are your standards that damn low?
There's no guarantee that there are games tied to it. There's no guarantee that there's a present.
And would it be hard, literally, just sit here and give them what they want, Nintendo? Actually, I would like this too. Give the dual pack, charge $50 for it, but do the Twilight Princess HD one and the Wind Waker HD one, and there you go. That's what you had to do. That will make them happy. It's not that hard to do in Nintendo.
Tied to it. There's no guarantee that Nintendo really cares about either of them all that much, but it would make a lot of sense for...
Sorry there, Zoe. I got to change Streamlab, but it for some reason it said that you had too long of a message, but I'm not really tired of the Fire Emblem because I love Fire Emblem, and I'm not tired of Zelda because I do love Zelda, but when it comes to Mario, yes, I am a little tired of Mario.
This third week in February to house that Direct, given the spacing and given the Zelda anniversary and given the desire to get this Mario announcement out there. Now, I don't know definitively one way or the other. I want to be perfectly clear with you. But if I had to guess, if I was going to bet on this Nintendo Direct, here's what I believe happened, okay? I think there's...
Oh, great. How much do we want to... Oh, that'll be an awesome thumbnail right there. Wouldn't it, guys? That would be an amazing one.
Definitely a general Nintendo Direct coming with a lot of great games and a lot of big third...
Of course there is. Here, you know what? I'm going to drop a leak for you, Switch Force. I guarantee you between now and the end of the year, I can't tell you how I know, but I promise you, there is going to be a General Direct. I promise you there will be one.
Third-party announcements, and I believe that is going to come before the June timeframe. In fact, I think March is a...
I mean, that's just a given. Anybody can sit here and try to guess something like that. If it happens where we get one before June, I'm not going to give you credit. I'm not going to give you flowers for it. That is not going to happen.
Really good thing to throw your chips down on and say, hey, this is probably the month of the Direct. I personally am really reserved about there being a Direct this week. I would love to be proven wrong.
Then why don't you call out all these people for sitting here pushing it? You know what's going to happen. You've seen this how many times? You know that if there is no General Direct this week, you know there's going to be some fire and brimstone coming for you guys for what you guys are doing.
Be super ecstatic if Mario gets revealed this week. Halle freaking Luya. But
I'll be happy too, because it's content at the end of the day, and I will gladly play a new 3D Mario. Can I go without playing another one? Sure, but I'm still gonna enjoy playing it regardless.
I wonder if the sources heard of an upcoming presentation and then got a bit confused and tried to piece together some ideas of when this presentation could be, and they got really focused on the fact that there's going to be a Zelda anniversary this week. There's been a lot of rumors in the past about some mythical Ocarina of Time remake. We do know that Nintendo...
I mean, I think that the Ocarina of Time remake is more possible than the damn 3D Mario one, but either could happen. I think that they got a better chance of just doing a dual pack of the Twilight Princess and the Wind Waker. Wouldn't it be hard to do? Literally, it wouldn't be hard. They're already on the Wii U. It would not be hard to do.
Nintendo and LEGO have partnered for some Ocarina of Time centric sets, and that probably is tied in to the celebration for the anniversary, so there's at least something there. It's a toy, not a game, but alas. And I think that Nintendo, they looked at it and they said, hey, they have Mario Tennis, they have Pokemon Day, this would be the perfect time to have a Direct. And they heard of a presentation coming, I believe that much is true, but this waffling...
I would love a new Kid Icarus, Zoe, and F-Zero. ARMS, I'm sorry, Zoe. I was not feeling that ARMS game. I might have to give it another shot. I bought it when it was on sale for like $40, and I just don't understand the hype of why that game was worth $60. I really don't. To me, there's just not much to it.
In between February and March, and then one person putting a lot of their reputation on the line for February, I do wonder if it's a
Nash Guido has been wrong so many times. He's put his reputation on the line before and he's come out being wrong. It's not like this is going to change anything. Do you think that he's not going to stop leaking stuff in the future?
smoke screen that just got jumbled into, hey, February, it lines up, but in reality, March is a better time. It would be a lot back to back to back.
Oh, Draconic Darkness, you missed so much. You saw me, or you missed me blasting Player Essence. You missed me blasting this new guy who picked the worst people that makes this type of content that I make to try to make an example that we need to be stopped. It was ridiculous.
Back to back for Nintendo with a partner showcase, a first-party game release, a general direct, and then a Pokemon Presents all in a row. Do they have stuff for it? Absolutely. Could they make this show excellent? They sure can.
Of course they can. Literally, I want them to do their next general direct. I want them to cook the whole gaming industry. Because literally when PlayStation comes, when Nintendo comes, Xbox, the third parties, when they all come, we all win because we get games.
There is a Nintendo Direct this week. I think it's going to be insane. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And
I will laugh so hard if we end up getting a direct this week and it turns out to be mediocre.
Do you think you'll see 3D Mario as well as other first-party titles, maybe even Monolith Soft, the update on Fire Emblem to figure out more about what that game is, something that shows Yoshi and the Mysterious Book to be more than a kid's game? I think there will be a lot, including maybe an update from the Duskbloods.
I honestly do think that, because if you ever played Yoshi's Crafted World, that is literally a kiddie game. That game was so easy and so damn boring. I did not have fun with it. Yoshi himself could not save that game. That's how bad it was.
Elden Ring, other new third-party announcements, and maybe even Microsoft or Sony announcements that tie into some of the games that were recently revealed at their presentations. For example, maybe we get...
I have never played Super Mario Maker. Is it actually really any fun?
That God of War Sons of Sparta game on Nintendo Switch 2. Not super exciting, but it would be kind of nifty. Maybe we do get Halo Combat Evolved, the remake that's coming to Xbox and PlayStation, and it finally hits Nintendo Switch 2. There's a lot that could be announced, and it would be a banger of a show. I just don't really buy.
Zoe, I hear you, but for it being a very first installment, it was a good game to build a franchise off of. Oh, that's good. I mean, it was fun to play the fighting game, but for a $60 game, I expected more. I expected like a story or something.
Look, I think a lot of Nash Weedle's credibility is going to be hinged.
He doesn't have any credibility. He's gotten so much wrong. He's the only one that guessed that there was DK Bonanza coming or a Donkey Kong game coming. Come on, my guy. That's the only thing credible that man's ever done.
If there is a direct this week,
you have more credibility than him.
Because nobody else is really saying it. And maybe he's really confident. Maybe his sources are really locked in and maybe he has information that guarantees there's a presentation. I've seen that sort of information before where it's undeniable that there's going to be a presentation. It happens. There are sources that can provide that level of info.
Yes, we know that you've gotten them, but it's never definitive. We have no idea if they're telling the truth. That's the thing.
But those sources are few and far between, and it does seem like Nintendo is really cracking down internally.
Yoshi's Tropical Island. Where the hell is that game from?
On that sort of thing leaking. And so I feel like it's really hard to get a key in on the general directs. Nintendo is the most secretive and the most reserved and the most careful with their first-party presentations. I know that the Zelda anniversary is this week, but I'm of the opinion that the Zelda anniversary...
Good morning there, DBZ Nation. Salute to you, my guy.
Probably isn't going to get a ton of fanfare. Maybe it will. That would be great.
No, I don't think so. I think that they'll sit here and probably do discounts on Zelda games. That's all I'm expecting.
I don't know in a year where we're expecting Pokemon Gen 10 and there to be a 3D Mario along...
I mean, one year we got a 3D Mario and a 3D Zelda. It is possible.
Along with the games that have already come out, along with all the third-party partnerships and games that will release and are yet to release, does Nintendo really want to go gangbusters on a new Zelda game? They did have a Hyrule Warriors title which threw Link onto the Switch 2 early last year. It's been some time since Tears of the Kingdom, but definitely not enough for a full game. Would Nintendo want to rush a Zelda out there and have it be a remake?
They don't have to rush a Zelda out there. They literally can just give everybody what they've been wanting. All you do is give them the HD Twilight Princess and the HD Wind Waker, put it in a package together like they did with Galaxy, but don't charge $70 damn for it.
Maybe. But I think this is a lot of coincidences all coming together, and it breeds predictions and rumors and...
Does it? Does it really? The thing that it breeds is you guys giving false hope. That's what it breeds.
Hype. And for the rare time, I'm telling you that I would really pump the brakes. I am not...
No shit, because you know, I guarantee you that you know that it's not going to be this week. You fucked up and you know what's coming.
Expecting a Nintendo Direct this week. I will cover the heck out of it and be so overjoyed and give a huge round of applause to Nash Weedle if it does happen. But if it doesn't, first of all, please don't go after any of these leakers. It's not really...
Oh, of course. See, this is what it is. Now I will sit here and agree. There's no need to hate on these people. But when it comes to fair criticism, this is what he's doing. He's so badly damage controlling for everyone because he knows that what's going to happen. If there turns out to be no General Direct this week, him, Nintendo Prime, Player Essence, the leakers, there will be a wave of fire and brimstone coming from you guys. It is literally going to be almost biblical, just like it was last year after what you guys did. But this time, you don't have the excuse to throw on beat 'em ups when he did that fake leak. You guys literally caused this along with Nash Weedle.
They're not bad people. They're just...
No one ever said they were bad people.
Trying to pass along information and...
No, they're not. Bullshit. They're not trying to pass along information. Bullshit. You guys are not trying. That's not what you're doing. Okay, don't pretend like you guys are actual news channels. You guys literally run nothing more than a gossip column. You guys are literally doing this for views.
Get people excited, and maybe they shouldn't, maybe they should, but don't be...
They shouldn't. There's no maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Okay, like I said, there's nothing wrong with reporting on leaks if there's something tangible to go off of. I will report on leaks. I've done it before, but there has to be something tangible to give your prediction on, not hearsay.
Be a bad person to them because you're mad at them. Don't take your frustration out in that way. Like, there will be...
I don't think that none of them need to be attacked, but if it comes down to fair criticism saying, hey, you guys screwed up and you guys won't sit here and apologize or admit that you guys were wrong, because we all know what's going to happen. If there turns out to be no direct this leak, we're not going to hear you guys sitting here saying, oh, we were wrong. You're either not going to do nothing about it or you're going to blame Nash Weedle for it.
A General Direct. It will come. That's the good news. Nintendo does have plenty to announce from the first party and third party standpoints. Hey, maybe even Mina the Hollower, it shows up at a Nintendo Direct. We know it's got...
You literally, like, how long ago did you make this video? You know that they showed up in the State of Play, right?
The spring release date, it's very nebulous. It's almost already spring. Nintendo Direct would be the perfect place to confirm that, or even shadow drop it, something of the sort. So a presentation is in the works. Is it this week? I doubt it, but I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely let me know your take. Is it going to be February Direct this coming week? March Direct very soon? No Direct till June. Those are your...
I do not think that... I'm not going to sit here and say your damn options. No. I don't think that there's going to be a Direct this week. I think it's going to be in March or April.
Options. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love y'all lots. Switch Force.
Big hopes over the past couple of months is this idea that, like, Nintendo is only...
Harmon, you really got to do something about that hairdo, my guy. I am sorry, man. It is time just to shave it off. We have pictures where they altered it where you have no hair on top. And my guy, you actually can pull off the bald look. Just give into it already. Shave that damn head off. You are literally just giving people ammunition to make fun of you.
Putting out 7 out of 10 games on Nintendo Switch 2. The narrative being, of course, that we haven't had a huge, critically successful game since Donkey.
Well, I'm not going to say it was like huge critically acclaimed type thing. You just have a quality problem. Awesome, boss. We got a $30 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Play that music. Alrighty. I will play some music for you guys. We will play them all. How's it? Since the first one will be Harmon, okay? So we can sit here. We'll listen to Harmon's song since we're reacting to him.
Kong Bonanza and everything else that Nintendo's put out has been slop. You know, ZA is the worst game ever.
Nope, ZA is not the worst game ever anymore. I will gladly go play ZA over ever having to play Tokyo Scrambled ever again. Tokyo Scrambled is literally the worst game I've ever played in my damn life.
Metroid Prime 4 is unplayable. And of course, Mario Tennis is a tennis game.
It's actually a very good tennis game, but it's not worth $70. I gave it a 7 out of 10. My review is going to come out today, guys, for it.
Worst thing they possibly could have done is make a tennis game with Mario in it. Obviously, this is like hyperbolic and ridiculous and makes no sense. You know, like...
No, it does make a lot of sense. You're just being a little too extreme with it, like always.
Every console has 7 out of 10 games, right? But this has been like the major talking point from the community for a while, is this idea that Nintendo doesn't have any heavy hitters.
They don't. The biggest one that they've had is DK Bonanza, which I gave the game, I think I gave the game a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I can handle an 8.5, but any higher than that, no, it was not a 91.
In the near future. Like, please ignore Final Fantasy VII doing well.
That is not a Nintendo game. Try again, Harmon.
Please ignore games like Dynasty Warriors Origins come.
Dynasty Warriors Origin is not a Nintendo game. They are talking about Nintendo games. We all know damn well what you know about those.
Coming out.
What is Tokyo Scrambled? Well, Wonder Red, it is a new Switch 2 exclusive that was showcased in the partner showcase, and it was like the visuals look terrible, but you know, I've been trying not to judge games based on the visuals alone, so I'm like, you know what, $30, what can I lose out? Do not get it. It is not worth it. The only thing redeemable about that game is it's not broken. It will play. There's not performance issues really, unless it's in dock mode. If the dock mode, you have severe frame rate drops.
Please ignore Yakuza Kiwami 3. Please.
Not a Nintendo game, Harmon.
Please ignore like every other game that's coming out over the next month. Please ignore Pokapia, which everyone.
Finally, you name a Nintendo game. I do not think that's going to get into the 80s or higher.
Everyone's over the moon about right now. Like, oh yeah, everything they put out in this 2-month period is a 7 out of 10 game. Like, they're acting like this is going to be some huge.
Awesome, boss. Angry Vigilante should review more games. Those videos are awesome. Well, man, are great. Well, I do got a review coming out today. I'm going to have a review for the Galaxy bundle. That one's going to come out probably Thursday. But the thing is, when I do game reviews, I have to either finish the game, or unless the game is broken, it's just a terrible game, then I won't sit here and finish it to review it. But if I play a game, I generally am going to finish it before. I'm not like a supposed Dreamcast guy who only plays an hour of it. That's why I can't pump them out that fast.
Huge, disaster that's going to destroy the console. But in actuality, these guys are being overly anal. Nobody pays that.
My guy, we all know you're the only one that knows what anal's all about.
That much close attention to the release schedule of games. Nobody's going to look at Mario Tennis Aces Mario Tennis Fever coming out and being like, oh yeah,
Well, Mario, I got very lucky. It was on sale under $50 over at Walmart. So I definitely picked it up. That game, it's worth it at 50, but not at 70. Absolutely not.
That game isn't good enough for me. I guess
But I need to do a review for it, Mario, because people need to know the truth about that game. That bundle is being glazed. Yes, Mario 1, 2, 3. Renting it is definitely worth it. Emulating it, it can be. But if you can get it for under $50, it is very well worth it. My grubby, what are you saying there, Zoe? My grubby Cockney accent would make Harmon hate us even more. I sound like Oliver Twist. Are you from, where are you from there, Zoe? Are you from the UK? Or where's Cockney at? Where's that at?
Not picking up a Switch. Anybody who's picking up a Switch 2 is getting it for Mario Kart or Bonanza or for any other game on the platform,
I don't know if it's getting it for Mario Kart World there, Harmon. That's why when you're seeing enough systems in stock, you had to see them get dropped down to $300-something, like $374 if I remember correctly, at Sam's Club and Costco's, depending which one it was.
But Mario Tennis absolutely has an audience who like it for what it is, but it's not a heavy hitter. And that's fine. That's the thing people don't understand is that there is...
Harmon, you got to do something about the fan in the background. You either got to set your mic up correctly or you got to turn that thing off.
There's plenty of room in the market for smaller budget sports games, niche games like this. There isn't they aren't wasting resources and time making something that nobody plays. Obviously. Obviously a lot of people really like Mario Tennis. obviously everyone picks up these games as they come out, and obviously they have a pretty active scene on, like, immediately. You know, like, it's just...
Coffee Don on Northeastern UK. You know, Coffee Don, Power Mad UK, I really wish I had your guys' accent. I would sound so much more sophisticated if I had your guys' accent. I really would.
It's just a weird code that we keep seeing these people come up with and try to, like, introduce to try and keep up the narrative that, like, Nintendo's on the verge of failing. Is that, like, yes, all their games are 7 out of 10.
Who is saying that they're failing? 7 out of 10 does not mean that they're failing, Harmon. Are you kidding me? 7 out of 10 is still it's a decent, but the problem is when you're looking at a 7 out of 10 for a $70 game, that's when it gets hard to sit there and grasp that part. Zoe, LOL, it's an East London accent. Oh, there you go. Like I said, Zoe, I wish I had your guys' accent. I really do. I will keep our breakfast. Your guys' breakfast is good, don't get me wrong, but I would love to take your guys' accent.
Like, you know, they try so hard to push this narrative. They fight so hard to keep up the grift that, like, the reality of the situation just is, it's lost on them. Like, they don't understand the reality of what's happening is that the reason the Switch 2 is getting a lot of 7 out of 10 games is because it's a successful console.
That makes no damn sense. Oh, it's getting a lot of 7 out of 10 games because it's successful. Harmon, the success of a console doesn't make any sense to it. You don't sit here and include, like, how successful the console is into a game review. That makes absolutely no sense, Harmon.
And they'll do well on it. You know, like, this isn't complicated. This isn't something that, like, that can't go under the radar.
Power Mad UK, you're in South Yorkshire. Do you guys got some pudding down there?
Or could be brushed aside. You know, the fact of the matter is these games are doing well, and that there's really nothing that, like, they can do to kind of, like, downplay that. So they kind of have to make it about something, like, superficial and ridiculous, like saying that games you know, that come out in the high 70s on Metacritic are somehow, like, these massive disasters from the company.
No one is saying that they're massive disasters, Harmon, but so many of your brethren are freaking the fuck out over them being in the 70s. And I even said this before the Switch 2 launched when it got announced. I said the level of criticism your guys' games were going to get because Nintendo chose to raise the price you guys were not ready for. But it is sad that Harmon, of all of them, sounds more sensible than the rest.
Damaging the brand. And it's just not gonna happen. Like, it is just downright absurd that, like, any of these people are trying these stunts. It's, like, ridiculous that so many people are coming up with this narrative and trying to...
Power Mad UK, Yorkshire pudding, not my thing, but plenty not my thing, but plenty love it. Like, what is Yorkshire pudding? I've always heard of it, but when you said you're from South Yorkshire, it just made me think of Yorkshire pudding because it's so famous.
Like, fabricate their bullshit and trying really, really hard to push their nonsense and trying to say that, like, Nintendo's failing or that they're struggling.
Harmon, get on with it already. You're literally just repeating yourself over and over and over. Get on with it, my guy. Go have a beer. You're much more entertaining.
Like, it's just a giant code. That's what this all comes down to. The reason why they're so upset about every single Nintendo game is due to the fact that they are so desperate to downplay this console and to make sure that this thing fails.
How is rating a game fairly downplaying the console, Harmon? We're literally rating the games fairly.
And that the PS5 and the PC succeed. You know, that's what this all really boils down to, really, and why they spurg out about it so much is that they feel as if they can, like, you know, keep up the Nintendo hate grift for as long as possible, then maybe someday.
It's not even the Nintendo hate grift. We're not even the ones that are talking trash about the 7 out of 10 games. It's your guys, it's your brethren that's complaining about them because they can't handle it. Before, literally, who was it? Botox Games. Nobody was even really making videos on it. He's the one that started the whole trend, and now all you guys are freaking out over it.
like they'll be able to meme it into reality where people will like see a Mario Tennis game and sneer at it. Like, I don't want to play that. Like, if I wanted to play tennis, I would play Tiger Woods. You know, I would play Tom Brady. You know, I would play
Power Man UK. It's basically pancake batter done in hot oil in an oven to rinse with brown meat flavored gravy on it. A lot put other stuff on it too, like sausage or meat. That actually sounds really good, man.
with the real athletes in a real setting. You know,
I do like traditional English fish and chips. I do enjoy those. And you guys, I saw it on a short. You guys sit here and dip your fish in curry. Oh, that's a game changer right there. I love curry.
That's their mindset. Okay, like they don't care about the unique aspects.
No, we do not, Zoe. We do not know what the Sunday roast is.
Of Mario Tennis. They don't care about what this game brings to the table. All they care about is the illusion that this game existing is somehow like ruining Nintendo and making it worse. You know, whether it's pretending that Camelot making these games is taking away resources from Golden Sun, or trying to say that.
I mean, they can do both. I actually enjoy Mario Tennis Fever. I think it is an amazing game. The problem is it's just not worth $70. I had so much fun when I rented it. If I can find it for under $50, I'm going to sit here and buy it, because me and my wife absolutely love the game. And my wife is not a gamer. She does not really play games, and she was having so much fun playing that game with me.
These games are worthless and nobody plays them. Like, you know, they come to all these like insane conclusions and make all these insane statements. It really does need to be understood that this kind of hyperbolic nonsense really needs to be dismissed and denounced. It is downright absurd how we're seriously listening to YouTubers try and tell us that Nintendo has a problem releasing 7 out of 10 games.
I mean, we're not really saying that the problem. You guys are complaining about it. We've just been pointing out the fact. Okay, yes, Nintendo's been putting out a lot of mid games, a lot of 7 out of 10 games. It is what it is. It's because they keep overpricing them.
You know, they're trying to tell us that this is some like huge epidemic that's going to.
No one is saying that. You guys are acting like it's like that.
Ruin Nintendo and like the console. You know, they're trying so hard to fabricate this narrative that Nintendo's perpetually failing and on the way out and like just not doing very well, when in actuality it is just a giant cope. Like that's just the reality of this, is that this is a giant cope, and it should be treated as such. You know, this is something that
yes, we should treat you like you're just nothing but a giant cope. We all know this one.
That we really should talk about going forward is that like these niche games coming out and selling like a couple of million units, it's not some blemish on Nintendo.
I mean, it kind of is a blemish, Harmon. If so many people were literally expecting to get the sales of the Switch 2 games like they got with Switch 1 games. And I've been saying before the Switch 2 even released, you can't have major third-party support and have the same sales. It's just not going to happen.
Those records, you know, having a lower Metacritic score than Mario or Zelda is not going to inhibit the success of these games. The simple fact of the matter is, like, a score like this means absolutely nothing, other than the fact that like it's not a AAA high budget game. Like, again, plenty of people love a 7 out of 10 games. Like,
yes, agreed. But you guys are the ones that are freaking out about it.
They have an audience.
I guarantee you, he saw the video that Nintendo did, and that's why he made this video. Because Nintendo and him both made their videos before I did. And I believe that we all got inspired to make it from Botox Games, because he's the one that sat here and did the 7 out of 10 one.
People clearly like this stuff. So why exactly are you spurging out about it? Like, I can tell you from experience, like the vast majority of the audience won't even know that games like this, games that they're not interested in, like even exist. So like what harm comes about by having these things made and marketed?
There is no harm, Harmon. That's the thing. We're not the ones really saying it's your brethren. You need to go talk to your people on this one.
marketing them and releasing them, right? There's nothing wrong with Mario Tennis Fever, and yet going
at $70 there is. You know, I guarantee you by the end of the year you will find that game on sale at Walmart for less than $50. I guarantee that's going to happen.
Into this release, we were always told that this was going to be a failure, this was going to be a bomb, this was going to like negatively impact the Switch 2. It was.
I mean, did anybody really say it's a failure? I do not remember people saying that.
Nothing but a giant coke, and it
just like your hairdo, man. Really got to do something about that hair.
It's high time that we acknowledge that.
Yes, it is.
This is how you know I'm not salty about this. And people,
my guy, you're always salty. Stop the cap.
People want to label me as that, and they're just simply wrong. Okay,
how so? Please explain to us how we're wrong.
Loved God of War 2018. I loved God of War Ragnarok Valhalla.
Okay, it's not Valhalla, it's Ragnarok.
I enjoyed.
Put some respect on Ragnarok's name, sir.
Enjoyed some of the PSP games.
The PSP games were great. Why'd you avoid them?
And I've loved the Twisted Metal TV show. Anything that's negative.
I never watched the TV show, but I heard that it was good. But that reboot that you had a thing in doing on the PS3, that game was terrible, Jaffe.
You guys create a narrative in your brain that says we can't take what Jaffe's saying serious because
we can't. You sit here and try to push all this crap out there, you know, and I just found out who the hell you were. You freak out over the littlest damn stuff.
He's just upset. I'm like, newsflash, bitches. I put you in the same camp where the people who say, oh, look how far Jaffe has fallen. He's just doing YouTube now.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, number one, there's nothing wrong with doing YouTube. Okay, if you are passionate about doing YouTube, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately, Jaffe reminds me of a cheerleader a cheerleader that peaked in high school. You know, he peaked with some amazing God of War games, and then later on, when he didn't have that talent to help him out, he just didn't make that good of games anymore.
I love this job so much. I am so happy.
Awesome. Good. You want to know what you need to do? You need to go mentor Harmon Smith and get him to shave his head just like you did.
Doing this. I am happier doing this than I ever was making video games. I'm sorry that if it doesn't hit you.
Hyper Starcage, this is David Jaffe. He is known for making the God of War, original God of War games. And this is the second time I've reacted to him.
Your list of jobs that you consider noble.
I actually agree with him on this part. You know, I think there is something noble about there's nothing wrong with doing YouTube. Okay, when people sit here and criticize like, oh, you're just a YouTuber because you don't have a regular job, there's nothing wrong with doing this.
I'm sorry about that. I wish I wouldn't be such a disappointment to you.
No, you're not. Who cares, Jaffe? If people sit here and say, oh, you're just doing YouTube, who cares? Don't give a fuck. Let it brush off, man.
But I get to wake up and talk to people from all over. I'm going to sell you on it. You like it, you don't. You respect it, you don't. But
I agree. It's either you like it or you don't like it.
Wish, at least for the moment, you would entertain the idea that sometimes people can be upset with things because there's not an ulterior motive. They just don't like it. They just don't.
My guy, the way you bash that Sons of Sparta game, I gotta disagree. Yeah, the visual art style does not look that bad, but the problem is the way you guys keep talking about it. You're coming at it like it's like you're coming at it from a regular God of War game at $60. The game is $30. I am actually gonna, after I do my Mario Galaxy review, I'm gonna sit here and start the Sons of Sparta. I'm gonna give that a chance because it's $30. It looks fun. Yeah, the art style doesn't look amazing, but I've been giving games a chance where I don't really like the art style. You know, like Bayonetta Origins. I absolutely love that game. That game had amazing gameplay, had absolutely an amazing story, but those visuals were garbage. But if I would have passed it up just because of the visuals, I would have lost out on playing that game. That game was phenomenal.
Fucking like it. How about that?
No, you're comparing it to what you made, and that's the reason why. You didn't view God of War being a 2D game, and you just didn't like the idea when it came down to it. Yes, the visuals are not that amazing, but again, we are talking about a $30 game.
This is being done at every turn, Jaffe, says Jonas. You see this done to anyone who criticizes anything these days and has for a long time. Yeah, fuck them. Go fuck yourselves. All you fucking morons, go fuck yourself.
No wonder, my guy. People see, you remind me of DSP. People just come in there and try to trigger you on purpose to get you to get you to act like this. At least, you know, I haven't heard of you pulling DSP begging for super chats and everything.
Right. 3 end user says work from home, talk about video games. Sounds sweet. It is sweet. And then I get to go over to locale where I get to talk.
I agree. But David Jaffe, it looks like you need to leave your house every once in a while, my guy. You do not look like you're doing too well. You need to get up and leave your house to go touch some grass, man. Maybe you won't have to cuss so much and freak out.
Talk about things that aren't video games.
And my guy, take down that Twisted Metal painting in the background. You should be ashamed after making that terrible PS3 one.
That I still love that pisses off the video game people because they don't want politics over here. They don't want me to talk about UFOs over here. So I got to...
Well, you got to sit here and pick a lane. You can't sit here and have one channel where you're going to talk about politics and you're going to talk about gaming. You don't mix them. If you want to have a channel, if you want to talk about politics and gaming, have one channel for gaming, one channel for politics. It's a very easy thing.
Show over there I can do that's also fun to do. God forbid, not making. Why don't you go make a fucking video game? If you think it's the greatest job in the world, then you go fucking do it. I did it for 20 years.
Yeah, the only reason why you don't want to do it anymore is because your last ones were terrible. I guarantee you, if you were still making amazing games where everybody was loving them, you would probably sit here and want to go do it still. Look at Sakurai. He absolutely loves making the games. But at least he actually followed through with them. He didn't peak with one damn game like you did.
I want to do this now. May I have your permission to do this now, you fucking condescending, non-contributing twat? I do kind of...
Oh my God. This is why I can see why he's so entertaining. I can't believe I've gone this long without ever hearing about this guy.
Think, says Darth Nugget, you're in denial. Well, we have a therapist in the chat. Do I seem like I'm in denial machine? And you...
Yes. The way you act, you do sound like you're in denial sometimes, but I am not a therapist.
You'd actually be more fulfilled if you were still creating something. Games, movies, comic books. I think you need more of an outlet. I don't care what you think.
I mean, yeah, there you go. Who cares what people think? You know, I mean, there might be some things to that, you know. I'm guessing that you did it for 20 years. You must have enjoyed it at some point. Now, if you're miserable the whole damn time, no wonder you quit to do YouTube. But I'm going to have to go out on a limb and say the reason probably why you quit wasn't because you were tired of it. You just didn't know how to make good games anymore. You lost touch. You peaked with one game.
I mean, I clearly do because I'm addressing it. But you go make a comic book. I've done it. It wasn't fun.
Was it not fun because it wasn't successful? Because probably the reason why you went and did it, you know, like, I will admit, there are times where I'll make a video, it doesn't do that well, and it's like, oh, that wasn't fun. But when I make a video and it like does extremely well for like my standards for how small of a channel I am, or a smaller channel than what I am, oh my God, it's all great and it's all fun. But yes, I will admit, it's the same sense when you start off making YouTube. When you make videos, your videos aren't doing that good. Yes, it doesn't feel fun that you keep making videos, but you push through because you enjoy it and because you want to get those views. It's the same thing in his situation, I guarantee you. If his comic books would have been successful, he would have enjoyed doing it. I have a feeling that the reason why that he doesn't enjoy doing them anymore is because he just doesn't know how to make quality games or quality content anymore.
The end result was fun. Watching people play it was fun. But having to sort of pull that out of me and fight people over it and argue and be political and build the team, it's exhausting.
Why do you have to be political? Stop making things political. I bet if you owned your own damn studio, you probably would love it.
And it's only gotten more exhausting as the industry has gotten harder. I'll consult because then I'm like, hey, I'll show up and give you what I got and I'll put my heart and soul in it, but I'm not going to live or die by it. But I'm good, man. I'm fucking good, dude.
That's good. And we're good too. We are good too. We don't need you making video games. I have never heard someone say, oh, geez, I miss David Jaffe making games. Your last games were not very good. And that reboot, you should be ashamed for making that Twisted Metal. We have not had a Twisted Metal game since you touched the damn thing. That is saying something right there.
And General Jaffe is continuing to create, says Machine, just in different ways. Yeah, well, what you have to understand about that is, you know, you guys see Sony as the same entity that was Sony when you got into it with PS1, PS2.
No one sees that. Nobody sees that. Okay, the old Sony would not have chased that live service trend. What the hell are you talking about, my guy?
Right, or whatever. But when I started at Sony, it has more in common with me doing YouTube and streaming and videos than making games does. Because I could walk in back then and I had...
Well, I don't think that it was like so corporate back then. I don't think that they were uphold to all those stock people or to the stockholders and everything, the reason why they are now.
Had so much freedom. And I could, over the weekend, just have a fucking brainstorm and come in and tell my boss, hey, I want to try this. Okay. That's what streaming is like right now, right?
You don't have a boss. You get to do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to go ask them.
Versus like...
And technically it's not true. You're kind of upholding to your community. When your community wants certain content, if you want to continue getting views and being successful, you kind of have to give your community what they want.
Like, can you imagine with these budgets of $400-500 million, all the people that you have to get buy-in from, and then you take that and you merge it with just the normal day-to-day politics of a team and the stuff that you can tell the team that on high.
Well, I can tell by your people skills right now, it was probably very miserable to work with you. Maybe that's why your last few games were not very good.
Is saying that you can't, and then you've got to figure out how to manipulate, and I hate that verb, but it's true. You have to manipulate the great artist to do something that he doesn't want to do, but you can't tell him why you're so passionate about it. But it really is because if you don't do it, you're worried you're going to piss off this one key person in marketing. And without that person,
it's called playing ball. Anybody that has a regular job that works for somebody, we've all had to do that. Trust me, we've all done it.
Ally, you're probably not going to get the big rollout you need for the game to be successful. These are all the plates you're spinning, boys. It's not just sitting there with a notebook going, what would be cool is if Kratos had a weapon that also, it's a big fucking thing. And I don't have any interest.
No one is saying it's not. I understand why you quit doing it. If I kept flopping game after game like you did, I would have quit too.
Interested in that. But you guys go get that job if you want. If that's exciting to you, go get that fucking job. It sounds like a lot of you guys really want to do that. I wouldn't work in AAA games these days.
Well, it's kind of like with YouTube. How many times have we heard people say, oh, I would love to do YouTube? Or how many times have people thought about it? I promise you, the amount of work that comes in doing YouTube, yes, I love it. I have found a passion to do it, but it is not easy work. I'm telling you that right now. Constantly giving content, making sure there's one video every day. Trust me, sometimes it is not easy.
If you paid me, you'd have to pay me. Can you imagine? It's just free. But that's a real nightmare. And I saw it at my level. Imagine it at the current level today. Come on now.
Community is finished. Like, not only does the Switch 2 emulation scene not exist, the Switch 1 emulation scene is on the verge of being taken down.
Yeah, no, you can't take it down, Harmon. It's already out there. Even if they do somehow get them taken down, there's going to be more that pop up. And I guarantee you the Switch 2 is on its way.
After all, the Switch 1 generation is still current. The console is still on store shelves, new games are still being released for it, and the console is backwards compatible with Switch 2. So, in theory,
backwards compatible with Switch 2. You mean it's backwards compatible with the Switch 1?
Theory, the game preservation narrative doesn't hold up. The whole fan fiction.
I mean, it does hold up. It very well does hold up. They definitely ain't gonna get those ROMs taken down, Harmon.
Idea that emulating games is preserving them has no basis in legal law. As a result of that, Switch emulation has no.
No, you can preserve your games. If you want to back up your games, you can legally back them up. That you can do. That is legal.
No justification to exist. And needs to be taken down, needs to be made illegal, needs to be criminalized with people getting prosecuted.
Harmon, that hairdo needs to be illegal. Do you have a booger in your damn nose? Harmon, you got to check the camera before you go live. How did you not pick that up? It is so damn noticeable.
I'm seeing stories about yuzu forks being taken down. I'm seeing stories.
What the hell is yuzu? Wasn't that a long time ago?
It's about people going to prison. I'm seeing people
Harmon, who has gone to prison? Outside that one guy, that Bowser guy that went to prison, who the hell is going to prison? Harmon, you really got to do something about the booger, man. It's driving me crazy now.
Doing all these crazy things to try and justify emulation. People are trying to downplay NSO while it's Nintendo Classics, while it's becoming more popular than ever.
People are buying this so they can play online, Harmon. It is not. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, the NSO is so great because you have all these other old games. Okay, many of us don't play retro games. We have no want to go back that far.
There's no justifying emulation, okay? It's getting to the point where, like, the community has begun to realize that, like, everybody in it is starting to have gray hair, you know? Everybody in it's old. They're tired. They can't keep up. And meanwhile, younger kids, you know, are playing older games, and they're just like, oh, I'll just buy Super Mario Galaxy on my Switch 2. And, like...
Yeah, sure. If you want to buy it, go buy it. Just make sure you get it for under $50.
People are just like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, that's that game, it's you can emulate it. And like,
I mean, technically you could. There's no need to go buy an expensive system and that, I guess, to go. If you, well, technically you can buy if you really want, you can go get a used copy of the 2 Wii games and go emulate it. I mean, you're gonna get the same experience anyways.
You know, like, you know, the young people are just like, well, why would I emulate it when, like, it's right there and I can play it? Like, that's the weird.
Why go and pay, you know, $70 for the bundle, go buy a system for either $300 or some dollars, or if you already have a PC, you can go buy 2 used copies, technically, that'll be way cheaper, and you can just emulate it.
Weird thing about emulation is that, like, the emulation community wants to pretend that, like, retro gaming is like N64, NES, Super Nintendo stuff, when in actuality...
No, retro gaming is also PS3, no, I want to say PS4. I would say retro gaming is the Xbox 360, it's Wii U, well, not really Wii U, but Wii, Xbox 360, PS3, that's also retro gaming.
It's more like PS360 era stuff. You know, PS360 era is retro.
PS3 360. It's PS3, Xbox 360, you fucking idiot.
Now, it's old, it's tired, and those are the kind of games that younger people are more getting into, right? They're more getting into Wii stuff, they're more getting into Wii U stuff, they're more getting into, like, you know, GameCube era stuff at the absolute earliest, okay?
Yeah, I'm not hearing about young people getting into the GameCube. Maybe the Wii and the Wii U because they are porting them over to Switch too. That is very true. I mean, you gotta do something about that nasty ass booger, man. I'm getting tired of looking at it.
There are so many games that younger audiences have.
You gotta do something about the booger, and you gotta do something about that goddamn hair, man. That is definitely the worst I've ever seen your hair.
Never played that. There's no reason for them to go back further than that, essentially. And the problem about PS3 emulation and 360.
I mean, if you want to go back that far, you can. I prefer to play the newer games, but that's just me.
The emulation is that, like, nobody has, like, put as much effort into those emulators as they have with Nintendo ones, because the emulation community,
probably because Nintendo was very easy to emulate. It's always has been. That's what my guess is.
Like, from its onset was just like this entire, like, cope to justify, like, never owning Nintendo hardware. Okay, so the entire focus was on downplaying Nintendo and on ignoring Nintendo and on, like,
I mean, you don't need to buy the hardware. If you want to buy the game and then back it up to your computer and emulate it, that should be perfectly fine, Harmon. But again, you don't really care about the games. You just care about a piece of plastic.
You know, getting Nintendo Nintendo games to run on other platforms. There simply has never been a demand for Xbox and PlayStation games to be emulated to the same extent that, like, Nintendo has. Right? So if you're one of those people, like, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just buy old Xbox games on my Xbox One. You know, I'll just buy.
I mean, that's one good thing about the Xbox is at least it's backwards compatible with almost everything. That is good.
Old PlayStation games on my PS3. You know, I'll just buy, like, used games that are floating around everywhere, that are easy to get pick up, that are easy to find. You know, I'll just go wherever. You know, I can find, like, you know, play whatever I want. You know, there's no reason to emulate them. Okay.
I mean, there are plenty of older PlayStation games, but you're recommending people to go buy a PS3. Now, I've said this before. I think that it is perfectly morable, or I think it is morally correct to sit here. If you cannot purchase the game anymore from the people, if you want to emulate it, I think it should be legally allowed. That I completely agree. And if you want to sit here, buy one of the newer games, emulate it onto your PC, I think that should be perfectly fine too.
Like, if you already own a PS3 or an Xbox or whatever, you could probably go on eBay and find, like, you know, the most popular games for like $10. Okay. Like, why exactly
What can you buy for $10? Which games?
would you set up a PC, set up an emulator, rig all this up when you can just easily, cheaply get a hold of like pretty much everything you would ever want at like a reasonably low price? Like
Like what? Do you know how many games are very expensive? Let's say for any reason, which I have no idea why you want to play this game. If you want to play that Clay Fighters game that was on the N64, do you understand how expensive that game is? If you want to play Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York on the GameCube, do you understand how expensive that damn game is, Harmon?
cost of it of investment for buying used games is so much less than simply like emulating them. It's
Not all those damn games, Harmon. There are some very expensive games to sit here and get that are retro games because they didn't make that many copies of it. It's like that Fire Emblem Path of Radiance game. Do you understand how expensive that game is? Or if you want to play that Gale of Darkness Coliseum game or whatever that one was on the GameCube, do you know how expensive those are? So no, buying used games are not always affordable.
not even really funny. Like, again, like people have to, nobody wants to learn how to like illegally run ROMs on their computer, essentially.
They're not all illegal, Harmon. Some of them are legal. Just saying.
No reason to when all of this stuff is so readily available.
It is not all readily available. Let's say you want to play the damn Earthbound game or the Samsung game from the Super Nintendo. Do you know how expensive those damn things are?
Through like, you know, classics programs and like Nintendo Classics and everything else. So essentially what's happening is that more modern titles, you know, games like Nintendo, games that are on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, like we're seeing a situation in which a lot of people are not being trained to know where to find ROMs and where to pirate things. And I
mean, no one's being trained now. You can't really, it's not hard to find them, but it's not like you're seeing YouTube videos upon YouTube videos showing them people where to go get them. At least I don't think.
Oh, like the narrative is that like, oh no, you can just Google it and you can find it online. Like that's not true anymore. And it hasn't been true in a long time.
Nah, from what I hear, you can find it.
But the boomers are so like out of touch with like how
Harmon, the only thing out of touch here is how bad that hairline is from your forehead, my guy.
difficult it is to get into emulation because they've been doing it so long that they really truly don't understand why people don't want to take the time to learn how it works. Why that they don't want to take the time to learn how to commit a literal crime. So
it's not all a crime, Harmon. And it's not like, I'm pretty certain it's a misdemeanor, if anything.
That's what we're...
Or not really a misdemeanor. It's not like people are going to get thrown in prison for sitting here emulating stuff. I've never heard of anybody actually getting thrown in prison here in America. The only one we heard of was that guy in Italy. I think it was Italy. Was it Italy? Yeah, somewhere around there.
Seeing now is that we're seeing like the natural like evolution of gaming in which games are being preserved by the companies, that they're readily available by the companies through like, you know, the Nintendo Classic system or like the console archives or through other methods. And like the entire mentality that like
you don't own them. There's a difference between streaming them and owning them, Harmon. That's why Nintendo should like have the games for like $1, $2, $5 or something to buy them. I will admit, if they sat here and put Yoshi's Island for $5, I would buy it. I absolutely love that game.
We're preserving history has completely fallen apart and
no, it hasn't. How many of those older games are you still not able to play, Harmon?
And become irrelevant. Honestly, it is downright embarrassing how
Harmon, the only thing embarrassing here is how that hairdo and you have a booger sticking out of your nose, man.
Certain demographics have gone to extreme lengths to pretend that like emulation is like the future. It's like the definitive way to play games. It's the best way to.
I wouldn't say it's really the definitive or the best way to play games, but it's a reasonable way to play them.
Experience these games, and the reality is it simply is not true. Like emulation took off the way it did because for a lot of people it was the only option. You know, it was the only possible way to play certain games in English. It was.
It's still like that. I mean, there are still certain games that if you want to play in English, you got to emulate. There are certain games, if you want to be able to play, that are locked on older consoles, that the only way to get them reasonably priced is you would have to emulate them, or you're going to have to pay a fortune.
The only possible way to get a hold of certain games, you know, something like Earthbound would have run you up like $200 back in the day, right? Again, games like that is why people turned out this way. Okay, games like that are why people
Get on with it already, Harmon. This is why you need to have like some bullet points or something for you to talk about so you don't have dumb moments like this.
got into emulation, like because of just the industry still growing and still like trying to figure out how it was going to make retro titles available. And now, you know, in 2026, like it's very apparent what's going to happen going forward. Nintendo is going to like continue updating their back catalog. You know, they're going to keep releasing old games through collections. You're going to see like old games get like Metal Gear Solid get re-released all the time. Okay, you're going to see ports. You're going to see remasters. You're going to see straight up remakes. Okay, there's no reason to be fired up about emulation.
If people are in emulation, I'm not going to listen. If people want to emulate even the stuff that they're technically not supposed to, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I do not care. I am not going to make video after video criticizing emulation, and this is one hell of a damn thumbnail to make. I think I found my thumbnail for his video.
Okay, there's no reason to hinge all of your bets on this idea that like, you know, people are going to like allow you to download your games for free. Okay, it's...
No one thinks that they're going to allow it, Harmon. We've heard how many stories about Nintendo coming after people?
It's just not a viable thing. Not only for the consumer, but for the corporations as well. You know, why would they want you, like, emulating things? Like, it doesn't make any sense to them. Like,
I mean, it doesn't make sense why Nintendo would want you here on YouTube. I'm still surprised to this day Nintendo does not try to have you taken down.
They want to make you paying customers. So, again, they're going to keep, like, it makes no sense to support the emulation scene at all. It's been like...
It makes no sense to hear you talk half the damn time, but we all hear that.
Like this very, very interesting kind of arc where we're seeing kind of like the collapse of the PC Master Race narrative. Like this is how it ends, honestly, is that like once...
It's not ending, Harmon, no matter how much you want it to.
The emulation thing goes, like the entire cope that like PC can play anything just completely collapses. Like, not only was that not and never was true.
I mean, they can almost play everything. Trust me, Harmon, those Switch 2 games are going to come eventually.
Because, of course, like, you know, you have to set up the PC and you have to, like, you know, download all these programs and you have to make your PC play all these games. The reality is, like, it's becoming more and more cracked down on. You know, it was always illegal, but this isn't the mid-2000s where, like, nobody cares. Like, people are coming after you now. You know, like...
Who is coming after who, Harmon? Except for the idiot that was sitting here playing the game that was leaked before it was even released and taunting Nintendo. Those are completely different stories. The random person that is sitting here playing those ROMs, they're not getting taken down. With like, who is going after them?
People are getting arrested. You know, things are getting shut down, and there's more and more legal precedent to stop this stuff from...
Who is getting arrested? Who?
Ever happening. You know, basically the emulation community is running on fumes and running on like 20 years of goodwill from the community, but like all of that is rapidly dying off. And yeah, like these guys are not going to be major players in the scene at all.
And Harmon, you are not going to be a major player no matter how much you want to be.
Going forward. And honestly, let's be completely honest, at their absolute...
Every time he moves, I just want to puke. Just staring at that booger. I can't help but stare at it. Why do I have to keep staring?
Peak. They were nothing more than a vocal minority. Nintendo has won, and there is nothing the emulation community can do to stop it.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hard.